Even though Good Friday changes every year in order to line up with a full moon on Sunday to continue the worship of Ishtar or Easter, and even though many have doubts that Jesus or Christ was born on December 25th, they are 100% sure that December 25th was an ancient Egyptian festival date to worship the sun. If you don't believe me, let's see. It started off with Horus for December 25th in Egypt. Then it went to Mithras on December 25th in Greece, to a white Jesus in Rome. Therefore, they literally put Horus in a white Jesus costume and mask it as Christianity. So the question is, if the Romans killed Christ, how can they teach you about him when all they do is just continue ancient Egyptian festivals?
Just because a people been doing a thing for a long time a certain way does not mean that it is right. Am I making sense to you? See, a lot of times we carry out traditions that were handed down to us. That's why it's called tradition. But what if a fool started it? Then you carrying out a foolish activity, but you think it's a sacred activity. Like communion, for example. That's a tradition. Most of the folk in the world, especially black folk who take communion, have absolutely no idea where it started from. Folk don't even know where it originated. It originated with Ptolemy. Ptolemy the first, Eucharistos. Eucharistos, the word Eucharist. You know what happened, y'all, when they had his coronation ceremony? It's a white pharaoh. When they had his coronation ceremony, what they did is they coronated him at the ceremony, and the ritual that they went through was eating flesh and drinking blood.
In other words, Egypt is just followed by Rome. Therefore, Rome is a continuation of Egypt. So as you can clearly see, they both represent the eagle. And they both follow December 25th.
As one might imagine, the tremendous popularity of Saturnalia ensured that it lived on for centuries. This trend was further propelled because, unlike many other Roman festivals, the Saturnalia was not tied to the city of Rome itself, and therefore gained traction across the empire.
The empire basically throughout Europe, and whatever is controlled by the Roman calendar. Therefore, you do as the Romans do.
This is David, who says, we have friends who do not celebrate Christmas because they say December 25th is really a pagan holiday. While I agree that Jesus may not have been born on December 25th, he certainly was born as described in the Bible. How do I respond to them?
Well, in a sense, tell them they're right. You see, the winter solstice a couple of days later was the shortest day of the year, and the pagans had something called Saturnalia.
So they worship the sun. And we all know that the real Christ is born in winter time, while Jesus was born when it was warm. Therefore, Ethiopia celebrates Christmas during the winter on January 7th for Moses. And that's why Jesus follows the laws of Moses. And we all know that Jesus was born during the springtime. Listen.
And Jesus probably hates you for celebrating it.
There ain't gonna be no Scrooges in this house, boy.
Look, Granddad, it's clear from the scripture that Jesus was not born in winter. The shepherds who saw the angels announcing his birth would not have been out in their fields in December. The Palestinian winters are too cold, if you believe in that sort of thing.
Therefore, boom.
Identical antics, nothing so brief. Happy is a word we cannot exist.